Pokemon Scarlet and Violet anime is going to introduce us to two brand new main protagonists, Liko and Roy. We'll see them embark on new adventures, face many challenges, and grow and bond with all sorts of people in Pokemon. But what Pokemon would they use on their teams? Hey Pokemon Champions, it's Champion Blaze here, and today I'll be creating a hypothetical team of the Pokemon I'd love to see on Roy's team in the new Pokemon anime. For this team, it will include at least one starter Pokemon, and I will be specifically looking at only new Paldean Pokemon for this team, which includes brand new Pokemon as well as regional variants and evolutions. I'll try to create a good team composition as well in terms of typings and coverage. That way Roy can have a decently strong team as well. But I can't do this alone, so to help me create Roy's potential team, I brought a friend with me today.
Greetings trainers, Kuroblitz here, and it's my honor to help Champion Blaze in this project.
Kuro, so glad to have your help on this. Now with the introduction wrapped up, let's see what team we built for Roy in the new Pokemon anime. Let's get started. First up is KILOWATTREL, since I think Roy is most likely going to have at least a few similar personality traits and characteristics like Ash. I think his team would be somewhat similar to a traditional Ash format team. So along with his starter Pokemon, which we'll discuss soon, I think he'd pick up the regional bird KILOWATTREL. Wattrel is an early encounter in Paldea, which would be a great first capture for Roy. It would be very reminiscent of Ash catching Pokemon like Pidgeotto, Tailo, Starly, and Fletchling. It's also one of the best regional birds we have in the franchise, hands down, so I'd love to see this on his team. It's got an amazing strong design that I think Roy would be highly attracted to in a Pokemon. In terms of battling, this Pokemon would be excellent as well since it's a speedy special attacker. Having the electric flying typing would be great for offense and coverage, and Roy could teach it moves like Electro Ball, Air Slash, Quick Attack, and Hurricane, all moves he probably would have seen Ash use with his Pokemon at a league at some point aside from Air Slash, which was used by Leon. So I think KILOWATTREL would be perfect for Roy's team.
Next up for Roy's team, we have CROCALOR. If Liko's Sprigatito is to evolve into Meowscarada, I feel like Roy would be able to get a CROCALOR for the long run. Them being extremely similar to Mace Combusken, Serena's Braixen, and Ash's Torracat when it comes to screen time for the middle evolutionary stage. And just like their predecessors, perhaps CROCALOR could fully evolve into a SKELEDIRGE by the very end of the series. That way, we will get one Paldean starter per each evolutionary stage for a proper balance. It will be a nice way to avoid the discrepancy that Ghosts, Cinderace and Inteleon had in Pokemon journeys. QUAXLY could even rest on CROCALOR's egg nest and get burned for comedic relief. However, just to make this Paldean starter extra spicy, I would appreciate it if CROCALOR was a non-stab all-star user like Ash's Gliscor, being completely devoid of fire-type moves altogether. They have sound-based moves in Snarl, Hyper Voice and Dazzling Gleam, physical contact with Dig, Outrage, Thunderfang and Zen Headbutt, and even projectiles like Belch and Seed Bomb. This Croc has potential and personality to boot, and I'm here for it. So if the anime wants to jump the shark of originality, so be it.
Up next is actually going to be a second starter Pokemon for Roy, and that's going to be QUAXLY. The official reveal artwork of Liko and Roy shows Roy accompanied by the starters Fuecoco and QUAXLY. Therefore, I believe his team would feature both of these starters. However, I don't believe QUAXLY would evolve. Water-type starters throughout Pokemon history aren't really known to evolve, aside from Ash's Greninja, Lana's Primarina, and Go's Inteleon. I think QUAXLY would fill the comedic relief role of the Pokemon team similar to Ash's Rowlet. This would be the stereotypical water Pokemon that doesn't evolve, like Misty's Psyduck, Dawn's Piplup, or Ash's Oshawott. Quaxwell and Quaquaval are pretty mixed Pokemon among the fanbase, but I think the majority of fans love QUAXLY because it's so cute. QUAXLY would definitely continue to get stronger over the course of the journey and learn stronger moves. It would probably be very friendly, prideful about its glorious hair, and the newest funny Pokemon in the anime joining the ranks of Oshawott and Rowlet. Plus, adding the water type does indeed give coverage and type balance to his team even more.
As for the next member, we have LOKIX. It's a very versatile Pokemon in terms of growth and backstory, especially considering his showdown mode. He could be front and center like Excadrill and Crustle were in Best Wishes, or take a back seat as a background powerhouse like Starmie and Fortress were in the original series. Heck, for all that we know, he could be Roy's de facto starter. Just give him a nimble before the show starts, pretty much like how Brock received his Onix. Regardless, a bug type is needed for this roster. If not LOKIX, then maybe Repska. Only time will tell.
Now we have an interesting team member because next up is TOEDSCRUEL. This Pokemon would really round out his team in terms of typing by adding the grass ground typing. It's also good for his team to show off some love to a regional variant. It's also a variant to a Kanto Pokemon, and we know the Pokemon Company loves to call back to Generation 1, so I think older fans would love Roy for putting this on his team. Having TOEDSCRUEL would allow him to come up with some great strategies in battle. It's a very defensive Pokemon on the special side, and while its attack stats are pretty middle of the road with base 70 attack and base 80 special attack, its move pool is actually really good. And its ability of Mycelium Might allows it to move slower in exchange for not missing its attack when it's a status move, regardless of the opponent's ability that might prevent a status condition like Vital Spirit. Roy could also make use of TOEDSCRUEL's tentacles to ensnare opponents and land direct hits. It would be a great way to introduce the Paldean regional variants and evolutions as well. I could see Liko and Roy being highly intrigued by this Pokemon, especially if they've only ever seen a normal Tentacool. Roy would love this Pokemon and then proceed to catch it.
Last but not least, we have Garganacl. In Generations 1 and 5, we got Brock's Geodude and Ash's Boldore. So for Generation 9, we need to kick it up a notch and add a Garganacl on the team. I can see this Pokemon being caught as is, like how Iris caught Dragonite, or being caught as a Nacli, like how Ash got Charmander and Dawn got Swinub. And given these examples, you must be pretty sure where I'm going with this. I feel like Garganacl will be a disobedient Pokemon, and due to that, we won't see much of the Knuckle Stack stage. Roy could even give it as a Nacli, fully evolve it, and release it to protect the wild Pokemon from Area Zero from incoming paradoxes. Yes, I know, it's basically the Goodra plotline, but history is doomed to repeat itself when it comes to the Pokemon anime, Ash being there or not. No matter what team Roy will get, I'm pretty sure it will be amazing. And since this is a World Tour series, surprises are bound to happen.
So there we go, Pokemon Champions. Roy's final team would be SKELEDIRGE, KILOWATTREL, QUAXLY, GARGANACL, LOKIX, and TOEDSCRUEL. This right here is one amazing team for Paldea, and I gotta give a big thanks to my bro Kuroblitz for helping me create Roy's team. Check out Kuro's channel if you haven't already for more great anipoke content, and let us know your thoughts on this team down in the comments and what Pokemon you think Roy should catch on his journey. Until next time, make sure you train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.